Nickal. Bo Nickal did an interview and playing it cool, playing it nice and calm. He said, man, I'm in no hurry. I'm in no rush was the exact words. He said, I got 8 prime years of fighting left. When I'm 35, I will still be in my prime. And that's not a mistake that someone like Bo would normally make. It was a surprise for me, because that's a huge mistake if he means that. He better be in a hurry. He had better be in a rush. There is nobody that's going to move him up the rankings or up the ladder or up the card or closer to a title shot except for him. Nobody. Now, you can do that very publicly. You could do it my way, or you could do it very quietly behind the scenes. But either way, it has to be done by you. No one's coming out to get you right. I mean, just think about how we got into the UFC. Think about how we got as far as he did right now. Nobody come and found him. They can find him. Hey man, I'm with the Ultimate Fighting Championship, and I got a show called the Contender Series. I think you'd be good for it. It's not how it worked. It was not how it worked at all. Once he came through the Contender Series and they didn't give him a contract, and he go back to the Contender Series, and then he finally got to all of these things were done by him or his team, either in front of you or behind the scenes, but it was done by them. And I don't know the Bo meant it. I mean, sometimes you're just playing it cool, right? Like, hey, I understand they're giving me new guys with no experience. I'm the most lopsided winner in the card, and it's one of these things where sometimes you got to act real comfortable in the spot that you're in. I'm just sharing for you. It didn't really feel that way. It felt like maybe he meant it, and that is not a mistake that he would make. Here, let me use a wrestling example since I'm dealing with a wrestler. But there was a guy named Daniel Dennis. And Dan Dennis made the Olympic team for the United States, 2016. And he wasn't an NCAA champion, but he beat NCAA champions to get on to the Olympic team. And he beat them bad. He'd get on top of people. He'd turn them every which way but loose, technical falls. And Dan just told a story. You know, he was planning to wrestle for many, many more years. And he told a story that Tom Brands came into the locker room and told him, you're done after this year. Just came out of nowhere. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm done after this year, coach? He said, you're done. I'm not going to let you wrestle anymore. I'm not going to train you. I'm not going to let you in your room. I'm not going to let you enter tournaments. It's just this year. And what that did was it created an urgency. I don't have time. There's not time. There isn't a tomorrow. I'm not counting on feeling good and being healthy and having these opportunities. Not counting on any of those things. I'm getting it done right now. And when you say that to a wrestler in a situation like that, you're not just limiting him to a year, by the way. You're limiting him to 3 tournaments. So there's no room for error. And then Dan Dennis goes on and he made the team. He achieved his goal. And there's just a time in life where you got to go right now. There isn't time. And that expression of, hey man, you got time. That expression goes when you're trying to blow some sunshine up a guy's ass that just got starched. And that wouldn't matter if that was your son and he was 9 years old. Hey, we got time. Hold on. Hey, quit crying. Son, we got this. It's okay. There's about experience right now. Right? That's where this comes from. This isn't real talk. There's not really time. There's never a situation in life where there's plenty of time. It's the only thing that you're running out of. You might get more money. You might get more girls. You might have more babies and more house and more cars. You're never going to get more time. What are you talking about? There's never, ever a situation where there's more time. And Bo knows that. If Bo thinks there's time, I mean, let's just play that out. Let's just think about how literal that would be. Bo is young. He's 5-0. He's a very fast up-and-comer. I believe all 5 of those are by stoppage. I know that they are. That's a very impressive thing. If he can't get a title fight now, why would we give him one at 34? Who wants to give a 34-year-old a title fight? What does he mean I have until I'm 35? If your name isn't Jon Jones, you're not getting a title fight at 35. Nobody has ever gotten a title fight at 35 that hadn't been a former champion. Which means that they already got it done because they had an urgency and saw somewhere in their career they got to get it done. And I don't know that this will affect things. It's just when you say something, it tends to become true. I mean, I'm watching this right now with Jon Jones. Jon Jones planned to fight another 9 times. And now he's saying he's going to retire in November, which when he started saying that 2 weeks ago was nothing more than marketing. He's starting to believe it. That's just the way that this works. And whatever this plan is, and for whatever reason that they're bringing in this kind of fresh meat for Bo, whatever that reason is, it doesn't change the fact that he's still doing his job. Doesn't change the fact that he's still winning fights in various ways, right? Submissions and knockouts. None of these things change. That he's got to train, show up proper, make the weight cut, deal with the nerves in the back, walk out there in front of the audience. But there's not time. There's never time. And there's never in this make-believe land that you're going to get the call. And that also is just an expression. It was never meant to take literal. This isn't something that has changed with the times. It was never true. People in Hollywood, I was out there, I was trying to get discovered. There is no get discovered. It's an expression. You must get a bus ticket and get yourself to Hollywood. You got to go into offices, you go into meeting, you go into rehearsal. There is nobody out. There's no talent scout out there. If anybody tells you that, they're trying to sleep with you, just so you know. It doesn't exist. But I will have people that want to get into the UFC as well and say, man, well, I don't understand. I did this and I did this and I went through Abu Dhabi and I came here and I got 5-0 in the regional scene. And I'm over here and I'm just waiting for that phone call. That's an expression. There is no phone call. Go out and do all those things. That sounds really great. The training, the coaches, and the Abu Dhabi, and win all those matches on the regional scene. And then you have to make the call. That whole I'll get discovered or I can't wait till my phone rings. And they go, those are expressions. You have to do it. And you can do it quietly behind the scenes. And Bo has the team to push all those right buttons. Or you could do it publicly. What you can't do is think you have plenty of time and then go on a hunting trip.